Boys Brigade and Girls Brigade at home. We hope you've been enjoying them. If you have missed any, then you can find them all on YouTube. Just type in Boys and Girls Brigade in Radstock and you'll find all the episodes there. They're only 10 minutes long, but have some crafts, activities and challenges that you can try at home, plus some of your favourite songs. In today's episode, we have our last story in the life of Daniel. We'll make a craft out of some recycled materials, have another challenge, and show you something very silly. This is our last story in the life of Daniel, and this story is about Daniel's three friends, Shadrach, Meshach and Abednego. In the time we're thinking about, Nebuchadnezzar was the king of Babylon, and we know that Shadrach, Meshach and Abednego had come from Jerusalem with Daniel and that they had trained to become court officials. We also know that they liked to follow God and stand up for what they believed in. They had, like Daniel, ended up to be in really high positions in the king's court because they were so trustworthy. Now, Nebuchadnezzar was a really proud king. He was always trying to show how powerful he was. He attacked other countries to steal their treasures. He had taken people to make his kingdom even stronger. And one day, he had an idea that would make him look even more great, would make him look even more grand, even more spectacular. He ordered a gold statue to be made of himself. But he didn't just get one that would fit the living room shelf. He didn't just get one that would be life-sized. He wanted a statue that people would see for miles. He ordered the gold statue to be built 90 feet tall. Now that's about 27 metres. It's like the length of a swimming pool, or about 3 of the wheel in Radstock put on top of each other. When it was all finished, he organised a dedication service, a bit like an unveiling. He wanted everyone to be there. He commanded his governors, advisors, treasurers and other officials to come from everywhere in his kingdom to the dedication of the statue. So all of them came and stood before him. Then an official stood up and made an announcement. "People of every nation and race, now listen to the king. Trumpets, flutes, harps and all other kinds of musical instruments will soon start playing. When you hear the music, you will bow down and worship the statue that King Nebuchadnezzar has built. Anyone who refuses will at once be thrown into a flaming, fiery furnace." The music started, and as soon as the people heard it, they all bowed down and worshipped the gold statue that the king had set up. But there were 3 men that did not bow down like the others. They didn't even sit down. They just stood, standing straight and tall. You've guessed who it was. Shadrach, Meshach and Abednego. There was no way they were going to bow down and worship a statue. They would only worship and bow to the one true God. Some of the leaders of Babylon saw the men. They went straight to the king. Your Majesty, what do you want?" he shouted. "I'm enjoying my moment. Can't you see everyone is bowing down to me?" Your Majesty," they continued, "we hope you live forever. You commanded that everyone bow down and worship the gold statue when the music started playing. You said that if anyone did not bow down and worship you, they would be thrown into a flaming, fiery furnace." "Why, yes. That I did say. Be quiet now and let me enjoy my moment where everyone is bowing down to me." "But King, that's what we're trying to tell you. Not everyone is bowing down to you. There are actually 3 men who are not bowing at all." "What?" said the king. "What do you mean 3 men not bowing down to me?" "Sir, you appointed 3 men to high positions in Babylon, but they have disobeyed you. Those Jews, Shadrach, Meshach and Abednego, they're refusing to worship you." King Nebuchadnezzar was furious. He sent for the 3 young men and said, "I hear that you refuse to worship my gods and the gold statue that I have set up. Now, I'm going to give you one more chance. If you bow down and worship the statue when you hear the music, everything will be all right. But if you don't, you will be thrown into the flaming, fiery furnace. No God will save you then." So the music started again. Everyone looked and stared, wondering what the 3 brave men would do. But did they bow down? No, they did not. They did not even budge an inch. "Stop the music!" shouted the king. The three men replied, "Your Majesty, we don't need to defend ourselves. The God we worship can save us from you and your flaming fiery furnace. But even if he doesn't, we still won't worship your gods and the gold statue you've set up." The king didn't know what to say. Nebuchadnezzar's face twisted with anger at the three men, and he ordered the furnace to be heated 7 times hotter than usual. Next, he commanded some of his strongest soldiers to tie up the men and throw them into the furnace. The king stood watching the three men in the flames. Suddenly he shouted, "Weren't only 3 men tied up and thrown into the fire?" "Yes, your Majesty," the people answered. "But I see 4 men walking around in the fire. None of them are tied up or harmed, and the 4th one looks like a god." King Nebuchadnezzar went closer to the flaming furnace and said to the 3 young men, "You servants of the Most High God, come out at once." They came out, and the king's high officials, governors and advisors all crowded round them. The men were not burnt. Their hair wasn't scorched, and their clothes didn't even smell like smoke. King Nebuchadnezzar said, "Praise their God for sending an angel to rescue his servants. They trusted their God and refused to obey my commands. Yes, they chose to die rather than to worship or serve any god except their own. And I won't allow people of any nation or race to say anything against their God." Wasn't that the most amazing story? That Shadrach, Meshach and Abednego refused to do what the king had ordered them to do. They knew it was wrong to bow down and worship any other god except our God. They even were willing to go into the flames. They said, "We know that God can save us, but even if he doesn't, we will still trust him." Now today I've chosen a really beautiful song that we sang probably about a year ago at Girls Brigade. Trust in the Lord, lean not on your own understanding. It's taken from a verse in the Bible, and it means that we should always trust in God and not do what we think we know is best, but do what we know that God knows is best for our lives.
Trust in the Lord, lean not on your own understanding. In all of your ways, acknowledge him. He'll make your path straight. Trust in the Lord, lean not on your own understanding. In all of your ways, acknowledge him. He'll make
Do you remember at the beginning of lockdown, we couldn't find any toilet rolls anywhere as people were buying loads? Well, this week, see if you can make something out of a toilet roll. Here are some things that you can make. These unicorns are really nice, aren't they? You can get out your paints and paint them, and then make sure you have some coloured wool that you can use to do the hair. I really like these different types of animals. You could use other types of recycled cardboard as well, like cereal packets to make these. I do like these butterflies, they look really good. You just need to get some other coloured paper and then make some patterns on it. Now these are probably my favourite because I do love owls, but have a look at these owls. Can you see how the top is made? If you just sort of poke down the top with your thumb, you'll be able to make the lovely... And then these ones have got really big googly eyes. Can you see? Now this is another lovely one. You might need to get somebody to help you cut out a little hole in the middle for the mouth. But you could put your sweets in there, couldn't you? And lastly, if you would like to make something useful, you could make a pencil pot. You could cut the toilet rolls into different sizes, decorate it, perhaps wrap it round with some wrapping paper, put some stickers or glitter on it, and then you can make a lovely pencil pot. And then on the other side, we've got a telephone holder. So there's loads of ideas of things that you could make. Remember, if you've made anything, do send us a picture. We'd love to see it. Now, this next thing is really silly, but we thought it might be quite fun. We heard that some of you had run out of toilet roll, so we thought we would pass the toilet round our group to make sure everyone got some. Just watch this. Thank you everyone who took part in this. I still chuckle every time I see it. Your challenge this week is to prepare a talent for our talent show. You can do anything from telling jokes, singing, dancing, gymnastics, showing us your artwork or your baking, stunts on your bike, anything you like. Please record yourself doing your talent and send it to us. Then we'll put it all together for everyone to see. Please send it to us by the 31st of May. That gives you 2 weeks. One of those weeks is half term, so you'll have loads of time to prepare. We've loved hearing from you all this week. Please continue to keep safe, keep having fun, and we really hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.